Hey, hi and welcome. Mileage 426.0. Trip A. Alright, I don't know why I told you that, but still got about a half tank, so that's good. I'm gonna watch it back up into this Chevrolet. Well, last week I finished putting the boards in the deck, so at least I got the actual flat part of the deck painted. I don't have it all. I don't have all the railings and trim done, but I figured if I did the deck parts, she'd be a lot happier with that. And then next week, I can put the furniture back on if it's dry enough. And then I could do the trim. Doesn't matter how long it takes me to do the trim, because I got all the top railings done and all the inside railing stuff done. And watch out, this. Where is it? Somewhere around there, there's a, like I said, it scrapes the oil pan, eh? There we go. Okay, to the top. Anyway, yeah, so I left the outer trim. I'll do that. Even that'll probably, I can't remember, it usually takes me 2 goes to paint both little decks there. They're not big decks, but they do take some time. Something. Probably got a branch stuck underneath the car. That wouldn't be very uncommon. One time, it was one hell of a racket. I couldn't figure out where it was. I thought it was a branch stuck under the car, just being pulled along. It's like my poor car. That's the downside with a car, is you're low to the ground, eh? So you pick up everything, especially when you bottom out on every pothole. You can imagine how, like, I haven't looked underneath this thing in a while, but I can imagine how scraped up it must be underneath. But yeah, I had enough, guys. A little tip for you. You know, every time somebody starts a paint job, they run out and buy a whole bunch of brushes, blah blah blah. If you take Ziploc bags, okay, and put your brush in it, put enough paint in there to cover the brush, and just tie it off, tape it off, whatever, so no air gets at it, your brush will be as good as the day you first got it. A year later. Same with your roller. I'm using last year's roller. That's a year. Okay, and paintbrush. And those will probably hold up in those bags for probably 5 years. As long as it stays wet, right? Yeah, little trip for you. You could also put it in the freezer. People try that, but I find this works no matter what, as long as the air can't get at it. You put enough paint that it passes to the top of the bristles, right? So that stays wet all the time. And then you just kind of wrap it, get the air out, and then tape it up or something like that, and put another Ziploc bag over it, whatever, keep the air out of it. Those big freezer bag Ziploc bags, they work great. Work great for rollers, anything. It saves you a ton of money. You know, and the fact that you get more than one use out of it, you know, that's good too. Yeah, so a year old and it's still as good as the way I put it away. Just a little tip for you there. So now, gotta go do some planter hauling and plants. Got a whole bunch of plants to bring over. And I didn't get too much paint on myself today, so I got called this morning by my client about painting. I think we're going to delay this week because it's another long weekend. It's 2 long weekends in a row, right? But we got Canada Day this weekend, so he's going to be kind of busy and stuff like that. So okay, well we'll delay it for another week. It doesn't matter to me, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. So yeah, I figure it's probably going to take another 3.5 to 4 cans of paint. So it's 4 cans of paint no matter what to finish the rest of the place. But then there's 2 garages to do and the trim. So I'm looking at about, I mean, it's because I only work there once maybe twice a week, like depending on what the weather does, right? Last week I got 2 days in, otherwise it's once a week. So it's going to take me like almost the rest of the summer to finish that house. You know, like if I could work at it in a row, it'd probably take me 5 to 6 days, I think. Now mind you, if I had one of those sprayers, which I have mixed emotions about those, because the sprayer is good, but you have to cover everything. You know that you don't want sprayed because it's spraying, right? Plus you're breathing it in, and it uses a lot more paint than a brush typically. I know they say no, it doesn't. Yeah, it does. It uses a hell of a lot more paint, and it doesn't really do that much of a nicer job per se that you could say, wow, this is so much better. You know, unless you don't know how to paint, right? Like I don't really care for painting, but I know how to do it so that I don't have runs all over the place, you know what I mean? And even with one of those guns, you'll get runs anyway, so especially if you don't know how to paint, right? And then they clog up on you and stuff like that. So I'll be coming right back here with some flowers and all that stuff. So, oh, they got most of the stuff in. Nice. Oh, looks good already. Give that 2 weeks there. That place is like home and garden with all the flowers and everything. It looks so good. So I'll be doing some plant work. I don't know how long I'll be working there today, but probably a couple hours anyway. It'll either be like one of those like 20-minute jobs or like another 2-3 hours. Either. Make my money. And it's been a good month, guys. I've exceeded my expectations by so far $120 bucks, and if I get paid by the weekend, I might make over $2,000 this month. That'd be great. So I've exceeded my expectation for my credit card too. So that'll be good. Anything above what I wanted is you know, makes life easier. It makes life easier 6 months down the road, right? Why? Because lower payments are easier on me. And the cool part is this is the month I pay off my 7-string. That is so cool. So I only have the Mark Holcomb 6-string and the drums to pay off. And then after I paid off like the drums, but that's not going to be paid off till February, but you know, if I can maintain but it's just the idea that the minimum monthly payments are going to be so low that it's not going to matter. Like if I have minimum monthly payments of like $100 or less for the stuff I get, that's good. But it's just the drums was a big purchase. That's a big I mean, I didn't buy like a beginner kit and then play it a couple of years and then buy a pro kit. I just went right to a pro kit, right? Because it doesn't matter if I'm recording with it or I pay a good drummer to play it. You know what I mean? Like it's a good kit. It's going to sound good. Yes, I'm going to put better skins on it and stuff like that. But, you know, I'm going to wear out the skins that are on it now while I'm learning. But mind you, like I know a lot of people, you know, dude, you need Drumeo. Yeah, I do go on Drumeo and stuff like that. My techniques, like I'm starting off with good techniques to begin with. I'm not saying I'm really good or anything like that, but I'm learning properly. And there's still people giving me tips every now. Oh, you're doing this, you're almost got it right, but try this instead. And I love that. You know, like that's very helpful because it's something you don't have to correct down the line, because the longer you play a certain way, muscle memory when it comes to musicians, almost every musician relies on muscle memory to play their instrument, right? So you learn bad technique, it takes 5 times longer to unlearn a bad technique than it takes to learn the bad technique, right? So if you start off with a good technique right away, then I better floor it. Is he coming? There's a Shipbox Supreme heading up on me. Oh, is that a tree on the road? Oh, it's almost on the road. Bad spot. Oh, the band, I'm going to run it by Dave and Mike and Scott. Stacy, I don't know where she is, but we live in a different world now. And in 1995, if you wanted to get together with a band, you had to physically get together with a band.